What's up everybody, and welcome back. I have an extremely early recommendation for you that is based completely on vibe, and I really hope it lives up to it. Today I'm recommending The Girl Who Can Properly Say I Love You Is Unstoppable, which is being made by Nana, and Akakage. It's one chapter, and it's a romance comedy harem, and it is based on a light novel, and there are 2 volumes of the light novel out right now. So if you see this, if you read this, if you like it and you want more before the next chapter, you can always check out the light novel. But this story is about the battle of heroines, in which confession seems to be the ultimate weapon. At least that's how the narration portrays it. The story starts with Izumi Sumi being asked to go on a mixer with his friends, only to be uninvited because of a failed joke, which I really appreciate because it gives you a sense of how this manga is going to be. Fortunately, he's rescued from the awkwardness by the arrival of Amane Amasaki, who in every other romance manga would be the titular heroine, being a model, an extrovert, and having top grades and social skills. One of them is a lie though, as we see Izumi and Amane studying together, with Amane's friend saying Izumi is a lost cause. At least that's what people on the outside think, because it's Izumi who is teaching Amane. She begs for forgiveness for playing into the Izumi is an idiot thing, so that Izumi will keep teaching her, because it turns out her grades are only good because he tutors her. Because she's always on the road as a model and has limited time to study, he helps her study, which is why her grades are up. But in Izumi's case, everyone thinks he's an idiot, and Amane even asks why Izumi is pretending to be dumb, and his only response is that life's easier when nobody expects anything of you, which is an answer that leaves you feeling like, what happened to this kid? But after she asks, Izumi goes on to fluster Amane by saying watching her work hard is more than enough for him, before she grabs him and asks him not to tell anyone she's being taught by him, cause it's just Izumi she shows her weak side to. Obviously Izumi agrees to not say anything before leaving, which leads Amane to squeal in joy and say that he totally likes her because she thinks he wouldn't go this far for just a friend, which is fair. I think I would get the same impression. So Amane wants to date Izumi, but isn't in a rush, thinking that no other girl likes him, and oh how wrong she is. This is where we get one of my favorite parts of this manga, with this title card character introductions for the heroines. So a new day comes and the students are at some assembly where we meet the student council president, Hakua Shiragiku, who everyone's in love with. And as she's walking off the stage, she smiles at Izumi before it cuts to him arriving home, where guess who's waiting for him? Apparently, Hakua has the Ice Princess nickname, which Izumi can't understand because he knows how doting she is to him, because they are former fiancés, because they were both heirs. Izumi is no longer an heir for whatever reason, so the engagement was called off, but Hakua is still obviously in love with him and comes over to cook him dinner because she lives right next door. She's also my favorite so far, because I mean, she makes him food and demands welcome home hugs. What more could you ask for? She's also a year older than him and sticks close and wants to be pampered. Again, what more could you ask for? So they eat dinner and Hakua wants a compliment about her food, leading to Izumi saying it's the best in the world, which strikes Hakua in the heart and causes her to run away with excitement. And it's all a part of her plan, as she counts it as a successful day because her goal of using her fiancé status is to take over his life as a live-in wife strategy. And so far to her, it's going perfectly, as she also thinks no other girl could come between them, seeing as she's known him the longest, understands him the best, and plans on marrying him and staying by his side forever. She's who I'd choose, but there is one more competitor in this life or death game that we're introduced to, as she shouts at one of Izumi's friends in the hall for getting too close to her friend, Inori Domoto, who isn't a part of the competition yet, but I'm guessing will be later. But as far as the first chapter character goes, she isn't. But the one who is the friend Haru Kasuga, who I'm personally not a fan of. Inori the little angel, yes. Haru the little devil, not so much. They both showed up at Izumi's class to ask if they're having club that day. Izumi says sure, and Inori asks if he's read the book she recommended before Haru interrupts, accusing him of getting lovey-dovey with Inori. I'm not a fan of that. Even though I enjoy jealousy, I don't enjoy fridge personality characters, even when they're the one with the crush. Izumi doesn't appreciate it either, having a breakdown in the hallway. Later on in the club room, which is just the three of them reading books, where Izumi is the club president and the two girls are the only other members, Inori seems to be the only one who takes it seriously, reading books while Haru plays video games, and accuses Izumi of being a pervert for looking at her, before blurting out a fake spoiler, which obviously upsets Izumi cause come on man, but it does give us a great moment where Izumi turns the table on Haru's teasing and teases her back by sitting right in front of her and confronts her on her behavior of treating him like an enemy and being a fridge before asking if she's doing it just to get his attention and saying she just can't be honest while lifting her chin, which leads Haru to brace to be kissed, which she obviously wants, but instead Izumi just backs up and says if she keeps acting like that, someone's going to jump her. Obviously Haru freaks out, but Izumi hopes it'll fix her attitude, but it just makes it worse, as she tells him to die before storming out. He was obviously right about everything though, and Haru walks home with Inori in depression because she can't be honest and wants their interactions to be a faded reunion, because when they were in middle school he came to their rescue, but I guess he doesn't remember. So Haru is introduced as the last heroine before the narrator comes back, and all three girls are seen trying to get to Izumi at the same time to talk to him, but one reaches him first, that one declaring she loves him and asking him to go out with her. That girl being Nano Nanase, a transfer student who we've never met till now. Obviously the other girls freak out, but the one who wins the heroine race is the one who can say I love you first. At least that's what the story says. And it's an absolutely fantastic first chapter, and it's left me dying for chapter 2. I need to know what his response will be, especially because the first chapter ends by calling the three girls losing heroines. It does say that the outcome of the race is still unknown, so I'm assuming he won't say yes, but they all have lost the race to admit their feelings first. Regardless, it's fantastic and I love it. The art style is great, the story seems like it will be super fun, and I just need more. In some ways, it does seem like it will be a type of typical harem, at least character-wise, with the three introduced girls, and Izumi in some ways can be seen as a typical harem MC, but so far none of them feels so extremely character-locked that there can't be surprises out of them, except for Haru. She seems pretty typical, but maybe I'll be wrong about that because I certainly didn't expect there to be a confession in the first chapter, and definitely not by a brand new character who's had no introduction. If it was a secret who confessed out of the three girls, sure, but not a fourth contender, which because it happened, it leaves me wondering if there will be other twists like this that you wouldn't expect from a typical romance harem. It also makes me excited to see how the confession will affect the story going forward. Will the other girls confess now? Will they team up and try and take down the new girl? I have no idea, but it's already been a lot of fun, and I'm expecting only more fun from this. So I already told you what I think about the girls, and who they are mostly. Maybe not Amane, but she's your typical high energy idol, ideal girl. In any other romance, she's definitely the front runner and typical winner, but in this, we will see, because we don't know much about Izumi and what he likes. He obviously has a lot going on, living on his own, no longer being an heir, and playing dumb, but other than that, it seems like he will be a pretty decent MC, but I have no idea if he's a blockhead to the girl's feelings for him or his own. He called out Haru, but also didn't fully believe what he was saying, so he may be a hard-headed MC, or he might know and just be playing it down like with his grades. I have no idea, so we'll just have to wait and see. I personally hope he's playing it down and isn't a blockhead, because that will just make him a deeper MC, but we'll have to get more chapters to see. So I'm hoping we get more chapters soon. As of recording, the first chapter came out about 2 weeks ago, so maybe it's monthly, but hopefully it will be bi-weekly. Either way, I'm excited to see where this story will go. So if this seemed interesting to you, please check it out, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you want more recommendations, check out the Why You Should playlist linked below. Other than that, I'll see all of you in the next one.